The third-generation Mitsubishi Outlander arrived on the market in 2012, over 10 years ago. It was never a car for everyone. Its simple, Japanese design lacks impressive exterior styling, interior design, or technology. If there was one adjective to describe this generation Outlander, it would be ordinary.
For a certain group of customers, this, along with the brand's traditional reliability, were sufficient reasons to purchase. And it was a significant price compared to competing models. Today, in times when almost every car that is a few years old has concerns about the choice of engine, faults, and servicing costs, the Mitsubishi Outlander appears to be a simple, reliable car that you don't have to worry about breakdowns.
Mitsubishi Outlander. Technology. A classic chassis with classic McPherson strut suspension and a multi-link rear suspension. Four-wheel drive is provided by an electromagnetic multi-plate clutch. Fast, efficient, and reliable, it performs better on slippery surfaces than off-road. Overall, the car is mediocre at off-road driving. The Outlander's structure is lighter and stiffer than its predecessor, and you can even feel it. The car handles easily, but also feels more delicate.
Mitsubishi Outlander. Engines. During the initial production period, only two 150-horsepower engines were available: a naturally aspirated 2.0-liter petrol engine and a 2.3-liter turbo diesel. In 2015, a plug-in hybrid with a 2.0-liter petrol engine and two electric motors, but without a gearbox, entered the market. The manufacturer claimed a system output of 163 horsepower. The car was called the Outlander PHEV. In 2018, the diesel was withdrawn from the offer and only the petrol variant and a hybrid remained, but modified, with a 224 horsepower drive and a larger 2.4-liter petrol engine. In the Eastern European market, Mitsubishi offered petrol variants with a 2.4-liter, 167 horsepower, and a 3.0-liter V6, 227 horsepower. Occasionally, such a car comes along in Poland, and it's a very good choice.
Mitsubishi Outlander. Which engine should you choose?
In this case, the choice will usually be a matter of taste and needs. The petrol engine was paired with a 5-speed manual transmission, so it had one gear too few. It's noisy and gas-hungry on highways. Average fuel consumption will be around 9 liters per 100 kilometers. Although, if you avoid short journeys and highways, you can even get down to around 7 liters per 100 kilometers.
A possible solution to the lack of a sixth gear in a manual transmission is to opt for a CVT automatic. However, this presents another problem: excessive noise during acceleration. You have to like, and above all understand, this drivetrain to be satisfied. Furthermore, fuel consumption increases by approximately 1 to 2 liters per 100 kilometers.
Four-wheel drive was available only with the CVT automatic transmission. Front-wheel drive was available with a manual transmission, and from 2018, also as an option with an automatic. The 2.2D diesel engine solves the driving problems. It has the same power, 150 horsepower, but has 380 Newton-meters of torque, almost 200 Newton-meters more than the petrol engine. This improves dynamics, and fuel consumption rarely exceeds 8 liters per 100 kilometers, while on longer journeys, figures of 6 liters per 100 kilometers can be achieved. The diesel was combined with a 6-speed manual gearbox and front-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, and with an automatic gearbox, also 6-speed, and only four-wheel drive. Diesel is a better power source in every respect. It runs quieter, accelerates faster, and uses less fuel. It has only one drawback. Being a diesel, servicing is always expensive, although the 2.2DD engine has a good reputation. The golden mean could have been a hybrid if it were the kind Toyota offered. However, here they opted for a heavy, not very fast, and also not very economical plug-in engine. In the city, on short trips and at low speeds, the hybrid can consume less fuel than a diesel, and once charged, it can travel up to 50 kilometers on electric power alone, slightly more after the facelift. Only with frequent charging, and more likely from the surplus electricity produced by photovoltaic cells than simply from the grid, will this driveline offer any benefits. However, taking the Outlander PHEV on a highway trip, you'll quickly realize that the purchase wasn't worth it.
This applies to both hybrid variants, with the newer one at least offering better dynamics, the best among EU models.
Mitsubishi Outlander. What breaks down?
Breakdowns in this car, especially the petrol version, are rare. The main complaints concern the bodywork. Its paintwork is fragile and not scratch-resistant. After a few years, corrosion, a common feature of this car, appears where it's chipped. If the car sits in the sun, the paint on the roof and hood can even peel, as seen on some early production models. A phenomenon that requires more concern is corrosion of chassis components, such as subframes, mounts, and the exhaust system. In cars that have been in collisions, bodywork technicians often discover corroded bumper reinforcements. Surprisingly, for a Japanese car, the Mitsubishi Outlander has a rather unstable electrical system. Contacts can age, and the module responsible for controlling accessories and basic devices can fail. The 2.0 petrol engine doesn't cause any serious problems, with the only common issue being valve clearance adjustment after high mileage on LPG. Users were eager to switch to autogas due to its high fuel consumption. If you also intend to run the Outlander on LPG, it's worth purchasing a model without the installation kit and installing it after checking and possibly adjusting the valve clearances using a valve stem. It's worth noting that the engine has a timing chain, which doesn't need to be replaced after purchase. Furthermore, it's incredibly durable and doesn't stretch. Diesel engines are a completely different story, as while they are refined and generally reliable, they have more areas where they can fail. Spare parts are becoming increasingly available outside of authorized service centers, but many still present problems. Injectors and a dual-mass flywheel are expensive. A set of injectors can cost up to €2,400, while a replacement dual-mass flywheel costs around €600 to €700. The engine has a timing belt drive, which is recommended to be replaced every 120,000 to 150,000 kilometers. A good quality kit, including a water pump, costs around €170. There's no need to worry about gearboxes, especially the Jatco CVT. CVTs are usually criticized, but this one is very popular and exceptionally durable, especially when paired with engines as low-powered as a 2-liter gasoline engine. You just need to remember to change the oil and filters regularly. There are 2 of them. The 6-speed automatic, also from Jatco, is even more durable. In the PHEV version, the only issues to be expected are hybrid system faults and possible damage to the traction battery, which can only be replaced with a used one. A new one costs around €12,000. A used one costs €1,700 to €2,100.